And so here's my try at answering her question. This poem is called She Said. How do you know when you're hearing from God? She said, how do you know when you're hearing from God? I didn't know how to explain. It is to explain the butter grit of cornbread to a mouth that just discovered it has a tongue. The sound of jazz to ears that only ever thought they'd be lobes of flesh. The sight of sunsets to a blinded eye that in an instant can see to fail. At the ability to describe how the scent of baked bread can make the mind recall a memory. Every detail of a house, a room, a conversation. Like explaining to a newborn baby, this is what it feels like to be held. My words never felt so small, so useless, so incapable. I wanted to tell her. Put your hand in the center of your chest. Feel the rhythm there. I wanted to tell her you will find the holy text in so many places. On crinkly pages of scripture, in a dusty hymnal, in the creases of a grandmother's smile, the way she clasps her hands and prays familiar, as if to dignitary and friend, the way she sings a simple song from her spirit, turns her porch into a cathedral. I learned from my great-grandmother how to pray, how to talk to God, how to listen. Watching her and the other silver-haired church mothers gather in her living room. See, they prayed living room prayers because you don't have to be inside the four walls of a church to cry out to the God who made you, and despite what the laws say or what our human flaws say, God's ears don't play favorites. God's ears don't assess bank accounts or social status for they attune themselves to the story your tears or your fears are telling. God's ears are here for the babies, for the dreamers, for the immigrant and the refugee, for the orphan and the widow, for the depressed and the lonely, for the oppressed, for those about to make a mess or caught in the middle of cleaning one up. See, dirt don't scare God's ears. God is a gardener. God knows full well it takes rain and sun and soil to make things grow. I wanted to tell her, if you want to experience God, you have to be willing to experience what's holy in the places so many people don't even deem to be sacred, that sometimes God sits next to you on a bar stool, spilling truth to you like too many beers, that God knows full well the dance we do and we love ourselves so little that just about anyone will do, that God cares about the moments we find ourselves on the edge of a cliff, on the edge of sanity, on the edge of society. I wanted to tell her how God is always waiting, lingering after the doors close and the phone doesn't ring and we are finally alone, how God is always saying, I love you, I'm here, don't go, stay, please, how God is always pleading with us to trust, to love, to listen, how God's voice is all thunder and whisper and bass lines and grace. Sometimes when I pray, I think about her, how the voice of God was lingering in her very question, how just like so many of us, like you, like me, like her, still doubting, still searching, still questioning. I know I don't have all the answers. I know I never will. Maybe the best thing I can do is put my hand in the center of my chest, feel the rhythm there, turn down the noise in our minds and our lives and whisper, God, whatever you want to say, I'm here, I'm listening. So I don't know how your lives have been going, but the last 18 months has been struggle season.